All right, so welcome to part 2 of the official training of client courting. Create the ultimate brand journey that helps dreamy clients fall in love with you without leaving your integrity at the door or proverbial panties on the floor. I'm so stoked to see so many familiar faces, you guys, again. All right, you know the deal, right? If you're on live, give me a hashtag live. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay, just so I know who is catching this when. All right, this is a 3-part training for passionate entrepreneurs who are classy AF, want meaningful relationships without the sleaze, and are confused about growing their brand awareness and client list, even introverts. Now, in case you haven't watched the other videos yet up until now and you're just joining, I know a lot of people, well, a few people joined today as new members of the group. I'm Amber Brooks, a brand coach and strategist. Now, I know that a lot of people get confused about that word. So just to simplify it, your brand is the belief that people have about you. And I help you see how to influence that belief by helping you figure out how to connect what's important to you with what's really important to your dream clients with a brand full of meaning. All right, so my magic is in helping you find your magic and turn it into a really unique brand that's never been done before, just like I did with myself. And client experiences are such a huge part of your brand. So today is client courting part 2, from friend to partner, turning hot leads to committed clients. This is the one linear part of the client experience, okay? Hi, Janet. All right, so I'm going to be going over the client experience pathway with you from a different angle. We already talked about how important it is to build relationships. So it's really helpful to look at this pathway from the relationship point of view. The most meaningful and lasting relationships between people are usually those that are cultivated slowly over time with effort, genuine care, and interest, and involve commitment. So let's take a look at how the client experience pathway is similar to creating that journey. Okay, so the first stop on the client experience pathway is the friend zone. Establish emotional connection, encourage appropriate perceptions, present an authentic image, and build relationships. You're also going to follow, communicate with, and build a relationship with people who may need your services. And this allows you to get to know people and to really build trust, and gives you that background knowledge when they're ready to get to work. How do you put the line between friends and clients? Yes. Okay, so I'll come back to the questions, Sabrina, in a little bit. All right, so during the friend zone phase, when you're in the friend zone, you want to offer support, to encourage people, to make suggestions as you see fit, to engage with them, and that sort of thing. So out of curiosity, how do people usually come into contact with you? What is like that first stop? I'm curious to know. All right, now after they have entered into the friend zone, the next stop is the first move. So either someone reaches out to you to let you know that they want to work with you, or you reach out to them if you think you can help them. And this is really the initial point of interest. So usually when they realize that you've paid attention to them, what they're about, and have ideas, this really just strengthens the relationship and it grows interest. Okay, and then just for some tips during this during this phase. During this time, it's really important to establish your credibility and to build authority, to work in some kind of scarcity, not like false or forced scarcity, but like if you can only take 3 clients a month, for example, you're going to want people to know that, right? Because if you're only taking 3 clients a month, then that's going to help them make a decision whether they need to work with you right now or not, right? And then also you want to, during this phase, establish your level of service. So are you everybody's provider, or are you a premium, very niched service provider? And then comes the love note. So an email or a private message to let you know that they want to work with you. Usually this is client-led, meaning they're coming to you and they see the value in your work, or you're sending an email to them about a service that you think is a perfect fit for them right now to ask if they would like to further discuss it. All right, so during this time, it's really important to give a fast response. You don't want to have a message or an email sitting in your inbox for a week. You are going to want to show excitement about the opportunity, because it is exciting, right? Getting to work with the people you want to work with is an exciting thing. So let them see that. Share links to your onboarding process. For me, I use Dubsado, and I know a lot of other people use different programs like 17 Hats or Tave or Honeybook or something like that. And now is also the time to really prove to yourself as better than the rest. So you're going to want to make them believe you go above and beyond, that you have knowledge and skills that other people don't, or that you have a unique service that they really cannot get anywhere else. So next comes hopping in the car, right? So can you see how this really relates to courting in a traditional relationship, like in the real world? It's the same thing, right? We're humans building relationships with other humans. So the next step is hopping in the car. And that means that the lead goes into your workflow. And like I said, I use Dubsado for this. And that usually starts with a welcome email with a questionnaire and a link to book a call with me. And this gives you pre-qualifying information and well-planned systems and processes that really help you look professional, because you are, right? You're a professional. And in the personalization, like images and videos, put those into your systems and processes too, to really help you stand out. All right, so touch point tip. Package your services and your offers into really individualized ones. So everything in your client experience should be branded, so nothing can be replicated by your competitors, and so that your ideal clients can very easily identify you with everything you do, right? It all just needs to make sense together. And then comes the dinner date. So here's the first call where you see how well you're really going to vibe together. You go over the goals and the details and make value a priority. So this is what usually makes or breaks the project. Right now, you need to focus more on how you can serve and help them than closing the sale. Because if you can let them know that you are going to be of service to them in the way that they need to, the sale's going to happen, you know? So just make sure you focus on the service, and then also be better about follow-up. A lot of people let the follow-up fall to the wayside, and that's where a lot of interested clients get lost. All right, so now we're going to move into onboarding. How's everybody feeling about this so far? I'm going to take a sip of water and check on the comments here. Getting in the car is awkward. Okay. Why so? An Excel sheet is such a good idea, Sabrina. Well, I like to move my leads into my CRM even before their clients, Sabrina, because that allows me to really follow up with them well, even before their clients. Yes, the leads in Dubsado, so much easier. Okay, we're gonna move on. All right, so when it comes to onboarding, really the beginning of that onboarding process is the perfect proposal. We want to write up the proposal with the scope, the timelines, deliverables, rates, benefits of what they are getting out of this relationship, and a how I work summary. So hopefully by now, they're ready to sign on. It's a good fit, but in case they aren't, outlining the benefits that they haven't yet considered is a really good idea. And then also giving them an outline of the process, letting them know exactly how this project or this service is going to happen. Manage expectations. So important. And as a touch point tip to this portion, breaking up your proposal visually, so excuse me, so that it's not one big long block of text, really helps the client absorb the information that is in the proposal. Because if they get a proposal, especially a long one, they're going to see a big long block of text. They're going to get really overwhelmed. They're going to exit out of it. They're not going to review it, and you may lose the client there. So it really helps to have a way for them to immediately sign a contract and pay the invoice without a lapse in time. And that's just like another reason why I love Dubsado so stinking much. All right, now next comes the vows and the financial support. Okay, so if possible, we want to have a way to attach the contract and the invoice to the proposal and the workflow, because the less steps you make people go through, the better chance they're going to complete that onboarding process. You also want to get boundaries set and get paid before the work starts. And requiring payment upfront eliminates potential payment issues and helps clients be way more invested in the process. Okay, so we're going to move on to the actual process phase now. I want to make sure everyone's good. Give me a thumbs up, emoji, a yes, something in the comments. Let me know everything's going great so far. Yes. Putting something into the proposal that shows you paying attention is always a good idea. Okay, cool. All right. Now, next comes planning your first trip. So this could look like a lot of different things depending on your service or your offer. But for me, it's an intensive session. So our first thing is a brand clarity session. We sit down, we get on a call, we map things out, how the process is going to go. It might be a kickoff call for you or something like that. And this is where you get to all the nitty-gritty details that is going to really help you fulfill your obligation without fail. And another really great tip during this time is to offer a recording of this session. Maybe do some pre-call research in a doc with your notes or a brief of what exactly is going to happen. And then we get to know the family. Okay, so getting to know your client's audience, regardless of what your service is, you really need to understand your client and their audience and get to know the client's team members and collaborate professionally. So when I was a copywriter and now as a brand strategist, getting to know my client's audience is a huge part of just the process of my service, right? But even if market research or client research is not a part of what you do, it's still going to allow you to fulfill what you need to fulfill for your clients by taking that kind of holistic approach to their business and getting to know their audience. And then getting to know their team members really lets you be able to be of more service to them and make sure like they're not just getting something from you that they can take and use, but they're empowering their whole entire team based on the service that you're providing. Yes, the audience is the hero, of course. We're not the heroes. Yes, exactly. All right, then I have another touch point tip for you. Just because I know some of you guys do market research, some of you don't, that's okay. But if you do market research and that's a part of your service or process, don't hoard the insights, you guys. Share them with the clients. I cannot tell you how many people I know who hold this stuff back. Now, when you can share this work with your clients and explain what it really means and show them why it matters, that empowers them as a business owner. And empowerment is the top level of client satisfaction. So give people the power to be better and they'll love you forever. It also really helps to reduce extra edits if you do work like copywriting or design. I don't know why people, well, I do, well, a lot of, okay, so when I was doing more copy work, a lot of copywriters would hold this back because they could use it for future projects, like, oh, I understand your audience so well, you should hire me again, that sort of thing, right? I don't think it makes sense personally, but I have seen it happen. All right. Then you get to build the legacy. So during the process or the project, you want to make working with you really memorable. So give your audience a check-in to let them know how you're progressing, update them, or just keep in touch during that project. And think about how you can make your process or project really unique. So this might look like your timeline. For example, with the Brand Individuation 101, we get things done in 5 days once the project actually gets started. And that's like, nobody else does that in that amount of time, right? It might be your type of communication. It might be being really flexible or accommodating, right? There's all kinds of different ways that you can make your process or your project really unique. And then you're going to want to make sure that you're really giving them your all. So delivery of agreed upon deliverables, delivering with a live review or walking through, on Zoom, really upgrades the experience. And not only does it upgrade the experience, but it helps your clients understand the why behind why you did what you did for them. And it just helps it all make sense. You also want to keep your promises. Obviously, we deliver on all of our deliverables. We keep our appointments unless they are unavoidable. And if not, communicate and meet deadlines. And always exceed expectations. All right. So that is the end of the process phase. I want to move on to offboarding. I'm just going to check in on the comments right quick first and make sure everyone's good. Make sure you're memorable in a positive way, though. Yes, obviously. Obviously, we've all had some people made some not so great impressions upon us, right? All right, so offboarding. Here's the tell me you love me message, right? Once we're already in a relationship, we still need to be told that we're cared about, right? So testimonial requests can get sent about a week after your project. You want to give them time to absorb what you've done and kind of think about it and maybe even use whatever deliverable that you gave to them. You want to build credibility, and this can be done with case studies. You really should make sure to make a priority to make that follow-up chat at a later date, and then offer a referral commission if that feels good to you. And we're going to go deeper into offboard, we're going to go really deep tomorrow into building out your brand advocate toolbox. And I have so many ideas for you guys. All right, so for this portion of the journey, offering to follow up with them about a month after your project ends, it really just makes them feel appreciated and supported. So they're going to just be way more likely to work with you again. When people go through my brand individuation project, I always make sure that I check in with them at regular intervals, not just 1 month, but like consistently. Like, hey, so excited. I've been watching you from the sidelines, seeing you really take off with this transformation. I just want to make sure that you have everything you need to feel supported right now and to use what we did together to grow even further, that sort of thing. And then we have the Forever Committed plan. All right, so like I said, we're going to go into more detail tomorrow, but I just want to make sure that it has its place on the client experience pathway, because following up is one of the most ignored steps. It's also one of the things that will bring you the highest return in terms of repeat clients and referrals. So with the Forever Committed plan, we can send a client thank you gift that's personalized or on brand. We can do regular follow-ups, invest in your clients, and investing in your clients can look like a lot of different things, right? You might want to invest in their service. Like you might want to do an entry-level offer that they have. Maybe you feel like it's a good fit for you. You might want to invest your time, right? Just paying attention to what they're doing along the way after you get done with whatever you decided, whatever your project was. Staying in touch, investing your energy. I mean, it could look at like so many different, investing time to share them with other people and let other people know about them. It could look like so many different things. And then you also want to offer support as you see fit. So if you go through a process with a client and then later you see them doing something else and you think, oh, I could help them with that. Well, you're going to want to let them know that you can help them, because if you don't, like, they don't know. They don't know that you can help them if you don't tell them sometimes, right? How many times have you guys sat there and struggled with something and then later thought, oh my God, if I would have just asked for help, it would have been 10 million times easier. Our clients go through that too. And you're going to want to share what your clients are up to with others and refer friends to your clients as you see fit. Okay, so also you can send a thank you gift that is really personalized or on brand, and that makes the experience really memorable. I know that yesterday I told you guys about my video montages that I send out to my one-on-one clients with my little branded butterflies. It doesn't have to be anything complex. It can be a lot more simple than that, but just anything that helps them really feel appreciated. Now, those are all of the steps for the client experience pathway. I do have a few more tips for you, but before I share those, I want you to remember that this is an experience thing, right? It's not a buyer thing. You really need to focus on the brand journey, not just the buyer journey, like we talked about yesterday. So just like there's, I don't know, a lot of you know about copy and benefits and features and all of that. Some of you don't, but with copy, it's about the benefits over the features, right? And in offers, you focus on the transformation, not the package, right? But with your clients, you need to focus on the experience, not the sale. Does that make sense? Is that like a good analogy for everyone? All right, so here's some more tips. One, use a CRM system that you can customize to elevate the experience, to save you time, and to help you be more professional. I use Dubsado. I really prefer them. You can also create or use customized templates for your questionnaires, proposals, contracts, invoices, testimonial requests, and that just saves a ton of time. The more you can automate, the easier your life is going to be. And then you can also use canned emails for each step of the process so that your processes are really consistent and reliable. So I'm going to give you a link to the blueprint here in a few, and when you get that, you can check that. I do have my affiliate link for Dubsado, and a link to the email scripts and templates packages I have if you're interested in that sort of thing. If you don't have a system, or if you have a system you're not really happy with, I just put that in there so that you could have that additional piece of support there. I've been offering these to service providers for over a year and a half. And people are always just like so glad they got them because they really round out that client experience and save so much time. Now, at every step we talked about today, there needs to be communication. So this is a common workflow for service providers that nurtures clients along the client experience pathway. And you're going to want to be sure that you're adding in extra touches along the way, like additional communication, visuals, and even video to help clients get connected, engaged, and excited. So in my Dubsado system, on my forms, on my questionnaires, I have added branded graphics at the top of each form, and then kind of like used them to break up the forms too. And then I've also recorded videos of me talking to my clients and then put those in my forms too. That just gives a much more human touch to your process and lets those clients feel much more connected with you. All right, so here's some more tips. Let's see. Customize your client experience with language that is in your brand's voice, okay? Add visuals that align with your brand into your systems and processes, and pay attention to your clients' needs, not just the ones they tell you about, but the ones that you observe as well. And remember, your clients were attracted to you, so give them you. Infuse your brand at each step of the brand experience. What is your take on asking for feedback testimonial during the project? Is that possible to do in a natural way? Stephanie, that is an amazing question. I am so glad you asked that. So here's what I do. I just work it into my calls. So when I have the kickoff call, the clarity call, any calls in between, I always make sure to ask them questions during that process so that I can go back and use clips of the recording or hear what they're saying during the process, and then take a look back along the whole journey. And it really, like, after you finish the project, it really helps to get that overall arching, like, big picture view of how the process went and what your client is thinking along each step. And then when we're done, then I ask them either to do a testimonial or to get on a call with me and talk through how the process went, and then make those into case studies. Stephanie says, I'm totally building this out right now. Very excited. Yay. Hey, Renee. Hey, Shelby. Let's see. Too many times I've wasted money on not asking for help. Exactly. Cheryl says your email templates were my first real investment in my business. Okay, can I share this story, Cheryl? I thought about this yesterday. I really want to share the story of how we met because I really think that it is so important in this client experience kind of context, right? So Cheryl actually saw an ad for my canned content on Facebook. And she messaged me. I remember this clear as day, you guys. She messaged me and she said, hey, I'm thinking about buying these, emails, but I'm really not sure if it's the right investment for me or whatever. And so we talked through it on Messenger. I made sure it was the right investment for her. She made sure it was the right investment for her. And just the fact that I was willing to sit there and have a conversation with her on Messenger about these canned emails that are a passive income digital product, right? but a product that I created to solve a problem. Just the fact that I was willing to have that conversation allowed Cheryl and I to start to build a connection. Not only that, it let her know that she could trust me, because I was like, if you get them and you're not happy, I'm happy to refund you. Like, totally happy, right? So just talking through that really allowed us to start to have a relationship. And then after that, I think you joined my group, right, Cheryl? Or we friend requested each other, and we kept noticing that we had so much in common, right? And we joke all the time because we have so much in common, you guys, that we're like, oh my God, we could be complete soul doppelgangers. It's like insane. And all of that started because I was willing to answer her questions through Messenger and to start building a relationship. How do you put the line between friends and clients? Yes. Okay, I remember now. I'm sorry. Okay, so Sabrina says, how do you put the line between friends and clients? I noticed that if I become too friendly with clients, clients have a tendency to take advantages, even when I try to put back in place the boundaries. That's a really good question. Part of that is attracting the right clients, okay? Because if you attract the right clients that are right fit for you, they are going to respect your time and they're going to respect your boundaries. Part of that is having those boundaries very clearly outlined in your proposal and in your contract, and making sure that you mention those on the discovery call and on the kickoff call. A lot of people feel very awkward about bringing that stuff up, but I have actually had clients say to me, thank you for clarifying those boundaries. I really want to respect your time and I do not want to take advantage of you. And I am so glad that you clarified that. A lot of people wouldn't do that. I have literally had clients say that to me, okay? So even if you make friends with your clients, because I am friends with all of my clients. Every single client I had in 2018, I am friends with. Some of them I was friends with, and then they became my clients. Some of them were clients, and then we became friends. But I did not have any boundary issues with any of them. And that's because I'm very clear about those boundaries and upfront. And they like that. Like even just saying maybe, well, I appreciate your thoughts. I see that this is an issue. However, this is out of scope. We can have a conversation about that at such and such time, or we can add such and such to the contract if you would like to address that sort of thing. And just, if it's a timing issue, they're messaging you 24 hours a day, or I hope nobody's doing that to you, but if it's a time boundary issue, then you can just remind them hey, yes, I definitely want to have this conversation, but let's do it between such and such hours, right? I don't know what kind of issues you're having, so I'm just trying to give examples around this question. The brand whisperer, Cheryl, really? Oh my gosh, that's great. That is great. I love that. Sabrina, Stephanie says, I can try to answer that. Do you have your how I work outlined? When the boundaries are starting to get blurry, it's pretty hard to redraw them, but then, yes, the boundaries are really hard to redraw. Yes, there is. Thank you for bringing that up, Cheryl. In the canned content email packages, there's actually specific emails for sticky situations. So there's an email for scope creep. There's an email for firing your client if they are stepping out of their boundaries or if they're breaching the contract. There are payment reminders so that you don't have to feel bad about asking for your payments. All of that is already in there.